What's up, guys? This video is going to be on my equipment of the tank and how I believe this equipment has helped me out with my tank and why I'm using it. This is my contest entry for Davidsaquariums. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and start at the top of the tank and kind of work my way down here. So first bit of equipment here is my lighting. Obviously, sorry, I got trains blowing horns. Obviously, lighting is needed for a reef tank to grow corals. I have been very partial to using metal halides. They grow coral very well, and up until recently, I thought they were the best thing to grow coral. I also have an LED fixture. This is probably what I'm going to be going with when it becomes time for me to replace the halide bulbs. I'm going to buy another fixture and put it over the tank. I really like the LED lights. They do amazing growing. All the coral I have, SPS, LPS, zoanthids, softies, they just do amazing growing everything. So I am a believer in the LEDs now. So the LEDs have helped my tank out tremendously, and not only figuring out, that you don't have to buy very high dollar LEDs to grow coral. These Tailtronics do wonderful. So yeah, and the halides, you can't beat halides. They're tried true. They are always going to work. And I got 96 watt power compact actinics and 4 1-watt blue lunar LEDs. The lunar really helps tie everything together as I try to replicate a dawn, midday, dusk, and I guess high moon or high light moons or whatever. So yeah, so the lunars really kind of tie the whole sense of it together. As we move down the tank here, I'm sure you can see the sloshing here. My wave maker is my most recent purchase. Here's the controller for it. This has been an amazing investment for the tank. Sorry, it's going to be washed out just because my actinics are on, so everything's going to look a little washed out, and I apologize about that. This is a Jabo WP40, and since adding this to the tank, it's been about a week now, and since I've added it, I have definitely noticed an improvement in my corals' polyp extensions, especially the SPS. I've gotten really good response from them having this wave action in the tank. So obviously that right there in itself has benefited my tank. Just as a visual standpoint, I can definitely see an improvement, so I can only imagine the overall health of the coral has benefited as well. Sorry, losing my voice or something here. And I run Durso standpipes on the tank. They have been the best method for me for overflows, and I got one emergency drain back there. I built the custom overflow boxes in the tank and drilled it myself along with the return lines there. I drilled them. Man, I'm losing my voice. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and move down the tank a little bit more. Hopefully we can see what's going on down here. Next piece of equipment is my DIY build 55-gallon sump. I have 2 drain lines. Let me open my little hinge. 2 drain lines here, running 2 filter socks. Not currently running them right now, actually. So it drains down, goes underneath this baffle here, runs through the sump, and to my protein skimmer. This is probably my next best investment for the tank. Has done an incredible job of making my tank very clean. It hasn't pulled any skim made out for the past 3 weeks now. Doing water tests, very clean water, perfect water quality. So yeah, this ASM is an amazing skimmer. I love it. Obviously the benefit for that is it has done an incredible job of cleaning my water. I run it 24/7. I never turn it off, so that could be a reason why it really cleans very well. And as you can see there, the heater I only use during the winter, and I use it only during the coldest nights. So obviously that's going to keep my temperature stable, and that's thanks to James Connery. I really appreciate you sending that to me, man. This is a fan that I'm going to be installing. I took this out of a refrigeration unit. I'm going to be using that to help. I'm going to mount it somewhere here in the canopy to help draw away some of the heat that the halides are putting out. The halides aren't warming my water up, they are actually warming my canopy up, and I don't really want it to warm my canopy up that much. So I'm going to mount this fan into the canopy so I can have pretty good temperature control under the canopy. Hasn't affected my water, never had it affect my water before, but I just don't like the heat coming out of the canopy. It affects my air in my house, and I don't like being hot. So, I'm going to move to the other side of the stand here, and we're going to crawl in. You can see there my two little fishies, 150 Fosband reactor, currently running carbon. I switch between carbon and GFO. The reactor helps me out in controlling my algae and phosphate problems, which I don't have an issue with anymore. I used to have a major issue with phosphates, but no longer. And this is a reason why it helped me. The Fosband reactor did an amazing job of clearing my tank of algae and phosphates. So now I am running carbon because I haven't run carbon in 6 months at least. And I could definitely tell in the clarity of the water, and also my softies weren't doing too hot. So since running the carbon, I've seen also another tremendous improvement in the tank. So in probably another 3 to 4 months, I'll switch out again, and I'll go back to GFO, and then I'll switch back to carbon. Same on, same on. Right here, my JBJ Auto Top Off. This has been a lifesaver here. This has kept my salinity, water parameters, very stable. Before I was just, waiting for this to drop down, at least 5 gallons and fill it up, doing the old glugging 5-gallon bucket method. Got sick of it, so finally got me a JBJ Auto Top Off, and this has definitely made my hobby experience much more enjoyable. So yeah, anybody watching this, I highly recommend that this is like one of your priority purchases. Here you're going to see my Reef Flow Dart. The significance of this pump for me and why it's a benefit to my tank is it's a very powerful pump. It's pumping right now. It's at like 4 foot ahead. It does 3,600 gallons an hour. At the returns, it's probably doing about 3,400 gallons an hour. Why I'm running such a strong pump on this tank is A, it's a big tank, it could use the flow. B, I wanted to run a high flow sump, as I'm not going to be running any macroalgae, I'm running just live rock. So I want to have a lot of high flow going through the rock. Second, having a strong pump, I can run my reactors. Say if I want to get a calcium reactor, if I want to run a recirculating skimmer, I can just tap in to this return pump because it's so strong. I don't have to have 6 different pumps in my tank for reactors, recirculating skimmers. I can run everything off of this one pump because it's so strong. That's why I did that, so I can tap into it, so I can run whatever I want to run off of it and not have to put another frickin' pump in my tank. So that's why I have a Reef Flow Dart. You're going to see here a very important piece of equipment, which I don't think anybody should leave out in any fish keeping hobby, freshwater, saltwater, planted tanks, ponds, anything. That is a GFCI. If there's not one built into your wall, you need to have an inline GFCI. I have 3 of these on my tank. There's one here that's dedicated just for the Reef Flow Dart, and there's 2 more back there. You can see the light on one of them. One is running on my lights, the actinics. One's running for the halides, and the other one is running for all the miscellaneous stuff. So this is a very important piece of equipment, and everybody that keeps fish, no matter reefing, freshwater, ponds, this is a must. This will save your house. This will save your equipment. So this is probably one of the most important pieces of equipment anybody can have for their tank. You know, you can have the best equipment for water quality, the most expensive lights. You can have all the best of everything. But if something shorts out on it and you don't have this, you can pretty much kiss your freaking house bye. So this is the most important piece of equipment for me right here, is the GFCI inline circuit protector. You're going to see my ballast there for my metal halides. Nothing special there. Just two magnetic, actually, ballast. This is my bucket here. There's a Rio, no. That's a MaxiJet 404 for my auto top off, and that just kind of runs into the sump there. Let's see, that's the ballast, or I'm sorry, the power supply for the Jabil WP40. These are my timers for my lights. And again, see that clusterfuck of wires, that is why you need GFCIs. Right here, my dosing pumps, alkalinity calcium. Currently not running them. I haven't been running them for the past month because I just wasn't using enough of the two-part. The tank wasn't soaking it up enough. So I'm actually going to start running it here probably in the next month. I'm going to do a water change to see where my water parameters sit. But I just tested, and the tank, you can definitely tell the corals are, all the new coral definitely acclimated to the system because the tank is really starting to soak up some water. So the dosing pumps are another piece of equipment that's just going to be one of those set it and forget it kind of things once you get it set. So it's definitely going to make your reef keeping hobby much more enjoyable. That way you don't have to take wild guesses at doing doses, take the chance of overdosing or dosing too much at one time. This will dose it at a very slow rate consistently all day long. You won't have spikes, you won't have major drops. So this is a pretty good asset. I wouldn't say it's a necessity, but it's more of a convenience thing and more of a keeping things a lot more stable in the system. So I got one more piece of equipment I'm going to show for this video. I think I got everything. If I didn't, no big deal. Go to the fish room here, and this is the piece of equipment here, the last piece of equipment I'm going to show, I believe, unless I'm looking around and I find something. The RODI unit. This is another piece of equipment I'm not going to say is a necessity, even though many people will tell you you have to have one of these. I'm going to say you do not absolutely necessarily have to have one of these. Now, having one really helps you keep your phosphates down, keep the silicates out of the water. You just have more pure water. That way you don't run the risk of the high phosphates, algae problems, that sort of thing in the tank. You don't have to buy chlorine killers. I mean, everything's taken care of. Low TDS. So that's why I have one. I have run saltwater tanks, reef tanks, beautiful tanks, on just using tap water. But I decided to go this route because I just wanted to have that next bit of high qualityness, if that's even a word, to my tank. Having clean water is crucial. That's why people buy really good filtration. So this is your first step. This is for mixing your salt. This is for your auto top off. So this is an important piece of equipment. If you have the money, if you have the desire to replace the filters, yes, I would recommend having an RO system. It's just another piece of equipment that'll help make your reef keeping life so much easier. So with that, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Wish me luck on the contest. Sorry the fish room is kind of dirty doing water testing. That's another piece of equipment I use there for my DIY filter socks, my sewing machine. So with that, guys, I appreciate you watching, and I will see you later. Peace.